only I looked different, if my skin were different, and I would have an easier time growing up, and because perhaps what you experienced at home was different, how you were raised was different, and you on some level you wish that at a certain point in time in your life that if you were just like more like the people around you in terms of the majority of what everybody else looked like, then things would be different for you. So I'm Chen Yen. I am the host today for Chiro Secure. Welcome. And I'm the 6 and 7 figure practice makeover mentor at introvertedvisionary.com. And today I want to talk about how to actually use your ethnicity as an advantage in your practice. Because, you know, as someone who might be of color or first generation immigrant or second generation immigrant, you know what it's like. Even though you feel like we are all the same in the sense that each one of us are just people, but it's inevitable just until there's complete openness to all, and also understanding of diversity, that sometimes we may be treated a little bit differently. And so, I mean, for example, when I was growing up, I remember, well, actually, this was when I was older. I was in college at Ohio State University, and I was actually in an honors dorm at the time, and went into the elevator and walked into it. And the janitor said to me, "There's no room for you in the elevator, chink." And I thought, wow, what did I just hear? Right. So, even myself growing up in a place where for the most part, most people were friendly to me, I still felt like there would be those moments that just reminded me of how not everybody might see me equally or treat me equally. And so one of the things about that is, how can we actually use our ethnicity and our diversity to be an advantage in our practice, is to actually look at how what is your advantage right now. One advantage is that you, perhaps whatever advantage it might be, it might be your culture, because of your cultural understanding that your parents raised you with, because of the culture that of your own ethnicity you've learned to grow and love. That is an asset for you in your practice. It is an asset that can help other people who are also who see you in their reflection, can relate to. And then so, are you actually making a concerted effort to perhaps inspire people of your own ethnicity, to be interested in working with you, to be interested in chiropractic or functional nutrition, whatever you're involved with? And also, in some cultures, chiropractic is not as like, it's not just an everyday part of the culture either. For example, in the Asian culture, at least, from what I've noticed, chiropractic isn't as popular as acupuncture comparatively. And so there's such area of opportunity for educating and helping people understand the benefits of chiropractic, and through people who perhaps are of your ethnic background as well. So how that would look like in terms of an advantage for you in the practice is looking at, well, are there ways to actually advertise more in front of them, to speak in front of them? So, because you and your voice is what will help change things. You and your voice is what will also help people understand, whether it's about chiropractic or whether it's about you and your culture, and and what's unique and special about you and your practice. So, and even if you're watching this and you are not, you wouldn't consider yourself of a particular ethnic background, or that, or of a um, or are an immigrant, or first or second generation immigrant, look for what is your unique advantage. Of it might even be that you are very close as a couple to your spouse, and that you really looking at how that is an asset in your practice, and you can inspire people who are also wanting to have a good relationship as a couple. And so perhaps as part of your practice you end up highlighting those things, those elements of what people can aspire to as far as being a great couple. So and then you could talk about chiropractic as a couple, or different stories related to that too. So regardless of what your ethnicity is, you can look for, well, where's the advantage. And so I'm curious, I would love to see you type in the chat, what is one thing that, based on what we've talked about so far, that perhaps you could relate to, or that you can look at, well, this is an area of opportunity for me in my practice, because here I am, maybe I've been looking at how can I have more people find out about me, and but I haven't really thought about, oh, what is my unique advantage that nobody else, because of the perspective, because of the unique perspective you have grown up with all the experiences, and whether you might consider good or bad, right? They all add up to being such rich experiences that make who you are today, and make you the compassionate chiropractor that you are today. And I think one of the things about this too, as I think about the different things I've experienced growing up, is personally, I feel like I have more compassion for all kinds of people, and also with traveling to a lot of different places, right? And so, how can you bring more compassion into your practice, and that you already have, but it's just making it a point to highlight that, and your understanding of different cultures, and your rich experience. The other thing is, one very powerful way to grow your practice is by educating people through speaking. And why is that? Because when people don't really know about you, if you are just sending if you're just posting ads, if you are writing flyers, or an article, or blog articles, if you're posting on social media, there's only so much that someone can get to know you through that. And there are, especially because of your ethnicity and your diversity of how you grew up there, I bet there's such interesting stories that could be really inspiring for people. And it's that uniqueness of your experience that could really get someone interested in working with you versus someone else. There's so many chiropractors to choose from. Why would they choose you over someone else? And when you could share those kinds of stories, when you can share also by educating, then people will be more likely to come see you. Because part of the reason why they're not coming is because they either don't know how chiropractic or functional medicine can help them, or they don't really realize that you're there and that they resonate with you enough to come in. So I believe that one of the ways to really be really having a more of a platform to share is by you being able to speak about it. And we need more diversity in chiropractic, with different voices, beyond just what the majority of chiropractors and the ethnic backgrounds that, to actually be speaking and having a voice and sharing from your own unique perspective in this profession. So with that, I look forward to you sharing your unique journey and experiences to inspire people. And for more 6 and 7 figure practice makeover tips, go to introvertedvisionary.com, where there are specific practical tips that you could use right away to be getting more new patients in this week. And join next week for Walter, Walter Sanchez, who will be the host of our show next week. So till next time.